We are kicking things off right now with the San Francisco 49ers 2026 NFL Draft Tracker. We are looking at the roster needs and targets for this critical draft, and we have to talk about the blockbuster deals that brought in wide receiver Mike Evans and defensive tackle Osa Odighizuwa. But the need for cost-controlled talent remains huge, and with the 27th overall pick, General Manager John Lynch faces a tough decision about how to build this team for the future.
Stop using your finger for notes, sketches, and edits. This Jam Jake stylus pen gives your iPad a smoother, more precise writing feel with palm rejection so your hand can rest naturally on the screen. It charges fast, works for hours, and comes with replacement tips. Perfect for school, work, or creative projects. Check the link in the comments to grab it on Amazon.
Next up, we dive deep into the San Francisco 49ers overall draft strategy as they focus on building for the future, specifically targeting key positions like wide receiver and safety. We'll explore what draft analysts are saying about prioritizing the offensive or defensive line with that first pick, and whether the depth at edge rushers or offensive tackles is the key to unlocking the Niners' potential. Now, we look at Daniel Jeremiah's specific draft fits and trade scenarios for the 49ers. He shares his thoughts on who they should target, including a fun projection on Oregon TE Kenyon Sadiq, and discusses defensive options like Akeem Mesidor and T.J. Parker that could fit the scheme. Plus, we'll examine the possibility of trading back for prospects like Malachi Lawrence. Finally, Kurtenbach gives us his one and only 49ers mock draft, showing us the potential first-round fortune, including a projection on Kenyon Sadiq at 27, and the potential trade details involving Emmett Johnson and Mason Reiger. What is John Lynch really looking for in this draft, and where do these players fit into the long-term vision? Stay with us for the full breakdown. The San Francisco 49ers have made significant offseason gains through free agency and trades, securing key pieces like wide receiver Mike Evans and defensive tackle Osa Odighizuwa. However, the team still faces substantial roster needs, particularly for cost-controlled talent. With the 27th overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, General Manager John Lynch faces a challenging landscape with limited assets to secure prospects early in the draft process. Despite this, the upcoming draft is critical for the 49ers given their aging core and remaining deficiencies. Addressing offensive line needs, Trent Williams has extended his tenure, resolving immediate left tackle concerns, though securing a long-term successor remains a priority. An option could involve targeting Williams' successor to move him inside to left guard, given the lack of a clear starter at that position. Defensively, the need for an outside pass rusher is paramount, especially following a league-low 20 sacks in 2025 and the retirement of Bryce Huff. Caleb Lamu has been a frequent target in mock drafts, and while the Williams resolution lessens the immediate urgency, securing Lamu could still be beneficial, potentially even being slid inside to guard for future seasons. Regarding safety depth, while Dylan Thieneman's potential is slim, the Niners should not hesitate to target him if he slips into Lynch's range to upgrade an uninspiring secondary. In the receiving core, KC Conception remains a fan favorite. With Evans past his prime and Christian Kirk on a one-year deal, the team must prioritize drafting and developing younger receivers to complement Ricky Pearsall. Omar Cooper presents an intriguing option, similar to Deebo Samuel, which could attract the attention of head coach Kyle Shanahan, potentially shifting the draft board if the team chooses to postpone other needs. On the defensive line, Cassius Howell is highlighted as a violent and disruptive edge rusher who could provide immediate impact, complementing Nick Bosa's role. Keldrick Falk offers versatility and a strong frame, though less explosive than Howell. In the tackle position, Max Ihinacher is being discussed as a high-upside project, potentially pairing well with Trent Williams and offensive line coach Chris Foerster for long-term development. For the Seahawks, the team appears to have few immediate pressing needs, though upgrades to the offensive line and the loss of running back Kenneth Walker III are notable. The Rams, conversely, are focused on maximizing quarterback Matthew Stafford's window, leveraging their elite defense and Puka Nacua's production. The Arizona Cardinals are in a rebuild phase under new head coach Mike LaFleur, who is expected to bring elements of Kyle Shanahan's offense. The team's focus will be on whether to target quarterback Alabama's Ty Simpson in round 2 or focus on bolstering both sides of the ball for long-term quarterback stability. The San Francisco 49ers are reportedly implementing a strategic NFL draft plan designed to fundamentally reshape the team's future, emphasizing the acquisition of young talent to build a sustainable core. Sources indicate that the team's focus will be heavily concentrated on key positions critical to modern NFL success, specifically targeting improvements at the wide receiver and safety positions. This strategic pivot suggests a commitment to investing in developing young players who can form the backbone of the franchise moving forward. Analysts are watching closely to see how the 49ers execute this strategy, as the success of this rebuild hinges on identifying and developing high-potential players at these crucial skill positions to compete in the league's evolving landscape. As the 2026 NFL Draft approaches, the San Francisco 49ers are intently focused on their first-round selection at pick number 27. In a recent pre-draft discussion on The Saloon, with NFL Network's lead draft analyst Daniel Jeremiah, insights were shared regarding how positional value and depth will influence the team's decision-making process. Across mock drafts from various media outlets, the consensus among analysts suggests the 49ers will target either the offensive or defensive line with their first pick. A key strategic question facing San Francisco is which position group to prioritize early, with Jeremiah suggesting that depth might be the deciding factor. Jeremiah indicated that there is significant depth available among edge rushers, suggesting that the edge rusher might represent a greater need. However, if the team is focused on assembling the strongest initial package, prioritizing an offensive lineman could be viable, given that more edge rushers could be targeted later. Picking at number 27 creates a complex decision point for the 49ers front office. While edge rushers offer more depth in the second round, the value proposition of an offensive tackle in the first round could be higher, potentially steering the final choice based on player availability at the time of selection. Jeremiah also shared a fun projection, mocking Oregon tight end Kenyon Sadiq for San Francisco multiple times, noting that Sadiq is a strategic player who would fit perfectly with Kyle Shanahan's scheme. If the 49ers remain at number 27, Jeremiah highlighted several defensive options that align with their scheme. These included Miami's Akeem Mesidor, a versatile pass rusher capable of playing both on the edge and inside, and Clemson edge rusher T.J. Parker, who is also projected to be available in that range. Furthermore, Jeremiah discussed the possibility of the 49ers trading back to secure additional draft capital, which could unlock prospects available later. He identified Malachi Lawrence from the University of Central Florida as a name who would be a perfect fit for an all-out attacking front if acquired in the second round. Ultimately, the 49ers' decision at number 27, whether to hold or move, is expected to hinge on a balance of patience, perceived value, and the team's instinct on draft night. A mock draft analysis suggests the San Francisco 49ers are pursuing a pragmatic, meat-and-potatoes roster construction, focusing on solidifying trenches and finding depth rather than high-risk gambles. The analysis, based on simulations, points toward a balanced approach to securing key positions. At the tight end position, the mock draft targets Kenyon Sadiq from Oregon at pick 27. Sadiq is highlighted as a route runner with strong blocking capabilities, offering the 49ers an in-house replacement option to explore various tight end sets. The offensive line sees a pick at 58 on Keelan Rutledge from Georgia Tech. Despite being ranked lower than some league projections, Rutledge possesses traits the 49ers value, including toughness and sideline-to-sideline mobility, providing flexibility for day 3 moves. In the wide receiver class, The draft targets Deion Burks at pick 127. While not viewed as a direct replacement for a star like Deebo Samuel, Burks is noted for his YAC ability and route running, offering a potential big-time slot receiver role. The interior offensive line receives a high upside pick at 133 on Trey Zuhn III from Texas. A&M Zuhn is praised for his fluid athleticism and versatility, positioning him as a future center or right tackle with immense value. Defensively, the mock draft indicates a focus on edge rushers and corner talent. Mason Reiger, a high-motor defensive end from Wisconsin at pick 200, is seen as a potential fit for the pass rusher role, aligning with the defensive coordinator's preferences. Chandler Rivers, a cornerback from Duke at pick 139, is lauded for his elite zone corner instincts and tenacity. Finally, regarding the running back situation, the 49ers secured picks including Emmett Johnson from Nebraska at pick 158, acquired through a trade. Johnson is viewed as a viable third-down back capable of providing special teams value and pass blocking, aligning with the team's need for replacements at the running back position.